Hi guys, welcome back to Future Dimensions 360. As you know, in our last tutorial we had learned about lights. In today's tutorial we will be discussing about shadows, how we can implement shadows and what are the impacts of shadows and which kind of materials are applicable for shadows. First of all, let me tell you, for the shadows there are 4 different type of materials we are talking about since last 2 tutorials. So one of them is basic material. Basic material is not applicable to have any kind of shadow. Then the second type of material is normal material. Normal material can cast shadow, but it cannot receive any kind of shadow. And the rest two material, they can cast and receive both things in the shadow, they can do it. So for the first thing, what I have to do here is I have to create a floor. So where we can see the shadows. So simply I have to copy this floor component. Simply I will copy that component directly, or let me copy the inside mesh only, and I'll create in the source folder a new file called floor.jsx. RFC, a functional component we will be creating, and in the return we will be returning a mesh simply. This floor I have to import inside the app.js under the polyheath, or under the light I will import this floor. Okay, what I have done here in the floor is simply I had created a mesh that I had rotate that mesh on x-axis, like let's say maths.pi divided by 2. If it's like that, it will be like this. So it will look like a floor directly. And then circle geometry we gave them with radius of 10, so we can see kind of specific area in the circle. And then we can give the standard material as well. Why we gave standard material? Few minutes back I told you normal and basic material are not able to cast shadow, or not able to reflect the shadow. Any kind of object they want to cast shadow on the normal material or basic material, it will not work. It will work only on the standard and Pong material. So that's why we kept a standard material, that because we want to receive shadow on the floor. So simply what we have to do here is we have to move towards our app, and let's see how it looks like the floor. And you can see there is floor under our object. Now if I will go back a little bit, you can see now there is a floor like a circle on which all my polyhedrons are there. Okay, so we had created a floor already. Now what we need to do here is we have to start creating the shadows. So how we can start creating the shadows? You guys can see first here is in the canvas, if you want to create a shadow, you have to pass shadows either true or false. In the lights, if you want to do shadow like a directional light, you have to say cast shadow. Similar to mesh, if you want to cast shadow, you want to give the shadow to other object or cast, you have to push cast, or for receiving you have to push receive as well. On your mesh, if you want to know if this is a standard or Pong material on the mesh and you wanted to cast shadow and receive shadow, you can pass both together as well. So let's go down a bit. So we will be starting from the lights. First, what we have to do here is, instead of getting and changes with the help of references, I will change my light a little bit. All these 4 kinds of light we are passing, I will be changing them straight away from the controls. Like what we are doing here is we will create use controls components and we will pass them manually under the light component, because we want to pass some sort of shadows here as well. So we will simply remove these 4 use controls what we had created here. Very sorry, like that. And after passing this, wait a while, let me make it a bit better. Okay, so these 4 lines we will remove these as well. Go back and manually we can pass this. How? Let's say this ambient light and visibility and intensity we can pass like that. Similarly, directional light, visibility, position and cast shadow will be in the directional light. In the spotlight we will be passing the cast shadow as well, and in the point light as well. So let's go back to our code and pass this code directly as well, so we can see the shadows in our lights, or lights will be able to pass shadows as well. So after this, what we have to do here is we have to move down a little bit. In the canvas, we have to do shadows. We have to pass shadows as true. If you will not pass anything, it will be for sure considered as true. And then simply what you have to do here is keep the polyhedrons as it is, what we are keeping, name, position, material, and or let's say I can copy them same what we have it here in the example as well. So it will look much better. Orbit control, axis control, floor lights is there. So we had copy pasted our polyhedrons as well. In the polyhedron, we have to perform one more thing, that is cast and receive shadow under the mesh. So let's go back to our polyhedron and paste cast and receive shadow under the mesh. If I'll go back to my React3.js project, now you guys can see my polyhedron looks much better, and I can see how many shadows, 1, 2 and 3. First of all, I can see 3 different shadows. Okay, so you can see the red one is not passing any kind of shadow. Okay, other than that, these 3 materials are passing all kinds of shadows. If I will close the directional light and I will close the cast shadow for everything for the meantime, and you guys can see I have 2 material here only. So if I will open an ambient light, you can see there is no shadow working with ambient light. Either I will make the intensity up and down. So you guys can see there is no shadow working with ambient light. Let's close this one, come back to our directional light, and let's open a casting of shadow. You guys can see which material can cast shadow. Okay, so 1, 2 and 3 in front of you are able to cast the shadow. What are those 3 elements? Let's go back to our app.js. The first one, polyhedron, yellow one, is our basic material, mesh basic material, normal material and Pong material. Standard material is the one that isn't able to cast the shadow. So let's go back. Standard material color is red. Let me check if the color is red or no. Let's make it in single line so it will be similar to other as well. Okay, so 3, this one color dot, this one lime yellow, yellow is this one, Pong material is lime, and Control Shift R. Yeah, that's okay, no problem for that. You guys can see all 4 are casting the shadow. So if I will close the directional light, you can see right now I'll close all the lights and everything. Let me open the visibility and casting shadow. You guys can see all my 4 basic material are casting the shadow, and the light is here somewhere. Let me make it to a bit like 0. You guys can see the light is here somewhere now, because if I will make it as 4 in the x-axis, so the light is on the x-axis here, 1, 2, 3 and 4 here somewhere, and 1 up somewhere here. If I will make it as like -4, you guys can see the light move towards the other side, and I can see the shadows here. Now one thing you will be noticing, you guys can see this basic material is casting shadow, but the standard material is not, normal material is not receiving any kind of shadow. But normal material is casting the shadow, Pong material is using, and Pong material is casting the shadow, and even the standard material is receiving it in this place. You guys can see the black. You guys can see the black here as well. If I will make it to on the other hand side, you guys can see now first one is casting the shadow standard towards Pong. Pong is receiving as well this place, and here casting as well. Okay, similarly, if Pong is casting shadow, standard is not receiving, neither basic or normal and basic, both of them they are not receiving. So that's mean normal and basic, they are not receiving any kind of shadows. Okay, so if I will move towards my next light a bit, cast shadow and make it as PointLight, you guys can see it's here a bit. If I will make it like 1, you guys can see the shadow. Now it's like the shadow is coming here down to the floor a little bit, here also, like a light in the room here and here as well. So this is how the PointLight will work. Let's say a spotlight now. You guys can see now much better the spotlight. The spotlight and the angle of the spotlight as well. Let's make it as 3. Let's make this Z1 as 0, and you guys can see now the spotlight is here somewhere because Z I made it as 0. Now this is the round angle that spotlight is making. Okay, so if I will make it as, you can see, if I will move this X, so this round is moving with shadow. You can see the red one, the shadow of the red one down is moving. Now the green one, the shadow is moving, and now the next one's shadow is moving. Now the next one. So this is how the spotlight work. So this is the very basic and very pure normal understanding of shadows. There are very shadows is actually very complex topic, and we can learn that again in the some sort of like you can say advanced components and advanced project. But for the meantime, I want you to understand how shadows are working with materials and lights. So I think the basic understanding is much clear, and this time you guys should have this much information to go on, and any kind of problem or any kind of issues you are facing on, for sure this kind of shadow knowledge will help you to resolve those problems. I hope you guys had understand it. In case of any question, any query, you can comment us. You can reach us to our mailbox as well. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care and goodbye.